Hello, my name is Rachel Grae, and I'm here with Rob on Front Row Live.
What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment. I'm hanging out here at the Knitting Factory in North Hollywood with Rachel Grae, and I'm super excited to be talking to you because I just recently got introduced to your music. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to Rachel Grae, but I got hooked really quick. You really got me in your feels, or you got me in my feels listening to your feels, and it's just, I don't know how you write like that. I don't know how you can be so vulnerable and put it out in the universe, but congratulations with that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
It's a weird congratulations, but it works, right?
I appreciate it. It works. It always works. It's good.
So How Dare You is your most recent single, and it's crazy how much of an impact social media has with music, and whether you're an artist or you're a fan, like discovering music. That's kind of where this song kind of originated with you, as far as like getting an audience and being wanted by this audience. For you personally as an artist, like how do you feel like TikTok and social media in general has really impacted you and your career?
Oh, I mean, like immensely. The coolest part about social media is that I get to meet people from everywhere. Like I have supporters from like Germany, Indonesia. It's the coolest thing in the world. But seeing everybody connect to what I go through, it's almost like therapy to me and the people that watch. So it's just cool to be connected to people all the time and have that platform to be able to showcase all the emotions that I go through and allow other people to feel it with me.
And I'm sure at the same time, because of the type of music that you write, like, and how vulnerable you are, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like seeing these reactions kind of helps you kind of solidify, like, okay, it's okay to be talking about these topics. It's okay to open up the way that I do. But would you say that this kind of helped you be more vulnerable, seeing how the reactions were?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because a lot of people would think that since there's more eyes on me, it's like, why would you ever want to like cry on camera and like write about these things? But it's honestly comforting because like the messages I get back in return is like, I never knew how to put this into words. You changed my life. This is the song I never knew I needed. And I started writing music about the things that I had a hard time talking about. And I feel like that's what a lot of people also would think in their head of like, I don't really want to talk about this. So for them to have that outlet is really comforting for me, and to see that everybody else relates to me is really cool. And it's just like a family. It's like really cool to just like know that other people are going through it too. It's really cool.
And I love that, because it's like when you're going through it yourself, like you think that you're the crazy one. You're the one that's being, overreacting or whatnot, but then you hear it out in a song or someone else talking about it. And it's just, I feel like it allows you to be able to give yourself the closure that you deserve. I feel like most of the time it's you not letting yourself get that closure. Yeah. You kind of do this with this song, How Dare You? And as you kind of dove into that creative process, like what really, like lyrically, what really kickstarted the writing process for this song? Did you have like a melody or a lyric already in mind, and that's just kind of what started it for you?
Honestly, it was the situation. So right before was when like that whole entire thing happened. And I went into the studio that day and I was like, I am going through something, but I don't really want to write about it. That was when I was like, maybe a little too early to write a song so deep, when I'm like really in my feels about it. And my co-writer was like, no, Rachel, like we're writing about this. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So, I knew the direction that I wanted to take it, knowing the topic, so I knew that I wanted it to be really intimate and deep and be slow and vulnerable. So once I knew what I was writing about, that's what kind of allowed everything else to come in the picture.
Was this your first time writing a song like this, like in the moment as you're actually going through this experience?
Like one of the first times for sure, because this was the first time I've ever been like, I don't know if I want to write about it. Like, I think I'm good. It was kind of like an ego thing where I was like, I'm over it. They don't deserve a song, like whatever.
I'm cool, guys. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. So, it was a really cool experience. And what you were saying with closure before, it's really that. Like, that's what allows me to write like that, and it allows me to write in the moment, because it's almost like I explain my music as a journal entry ripped from my diary. And when I write the song, it's almost like I get to close that book up and move on with like the next chapter of my life. So the second I wrote the song, I was like, okay, now I actually feel like all the pieces are connected and I could really move on from the situation after putting all my thoughts out.
I feel like it's difficult writing the song in the first place, but I feel like it's even harder to be able to record those vocals and still have that kind of pain come out the way that you do. It almost sounds like you have to do that one take, like that's the original take. How was that recording process for you, and like did you find yourself having a hard time singing through some of this song?
I mean, I actually never re-recorded. I used the demo vocals for How Dare You because I wanted it to feel like that, like where it's so emotional. And yeah, it's always hard to sing it. That's the hardest part. Writing it is like, I'll cry. Sometimes I'll cry in a session. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, like this is really intense. But when it comes to the mic and me, it's like, it's comforting though. It's scary, but it's really, really comforting because it's like I finally get to tell my piece and my end of the story that I'm trying to tell in the song. So, yeah, but most of the time I stick to my demo vocals because it has that raw emotion.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool.
When you started working on this song, did you come into it with humming, or did you come into it with like scatting? Like, what kind of like artist are you when you're starting to write a song?
A lot of the time, sometimes it kind of depends. Sometimes I go in with a lyric and I'm like, this is what I want to run with. Sometimes I'll come up with a melody that I recorded and I'm like, guys, let's run with this one. And then other times it's like we sit down and we have a really deep conversation and it kind of leads us and everybody in the session to like navigate where we're going with the song. So with this one specifically, I just walked in and I kind of told the whole side. And I think I said out loud, I was like, literally like, how dare you? Like, how dare you do that? And they're like, that, like, I like that. And then we ran with that. So a lot of the time it's just spoken.
That's what you walked in with. It's like looking at your phone. How dare you? There we go. There's the song.
That's it. That's the one.
What would you say was like a challenge that you had during the creative process of this song?
The vulnerability.
Yeah.
Like, this is normally I want to be in that really vulnerable state where I almost don't want to talk about it and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, with this one specifically, I wrote it about somebody I really care about, but happened to hurt me at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was almost this like battle between, do I really want to write a song about this person? It's almost like I was trying to write for myself versus like not hurt the other person at the same time. So that was the biggest battle in writing this song. They still don't know it's about them though, so that's okay.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I feel like that's already hard enough, like to keep it a secret.
That's the scariest part, writing about somebody. That's the hardest part is like, I don't really want them to know I wrote about that. Like, I don't want them to know I wrote about them. So that was the scary part with this one specifically because I had a feeling they could piece it together if they tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about vocally? How do you feel like you stepped out of your comfort zone with your vocals this time around, especially because it's so vulnerable?
I mean, it's just pure emotion. It's like trying to hold back my cry when I sing is really the challenge. But again, it's just therapeutic when I do it. So vocals are honestly the most freeing feeling rather than it is like hard for me because I finally get to tell my side of the story. So that wasn't necessarily the challenge in it. It was more the writing process for this song specifically. Other times it's definitely the vulnerability and just getting the emotion through.
So we're here, first day of the tour, and we get to see this song live. How do you feel when you're performing this? Because I'm sure you've had your rehearsals and the sound check just now, but do you feel that you are at a point where like you're comfortable performing this in front of a crowd, or do you feel like those emotions are still kind of there with you when you're singing it?
They're 100% there. Every single song that I perform live, I almost put myself back in the time when I wrote it, and I like live in that emotion. So I literally take myself on an emotional roller coaster at every show. So this song specifically may be kind of hard to sing just because of the emotion, but it's a good feeling to finally like sing it to a crowd and not just have a phone-to-phone relationship with people. So it's cool.
And aside from that, you're testing out a new song that on the 24th we get to listen to.
Yes.
And I'm super excited. Just the little snippet that I saw, bless your dad for having to go through those emotions with you. But just that snippet that we got, like I thought this was vulnerable enough, and now you're opening up even more. Like, how do you keep doing that and doing that to yourself?
I don't know. It's like when I write, that's literally my journal entry. Like it's completely, that's my comfort. That's how I close chapters in my life, and that's how I get through situations. So it's honestly really therapeutic when I'm writing. I know I keep saying the same thing, but it really is. It's like that song too. It's about wanting the love that I don't have because of all these guys that hurt me.
You're looking in the wrong places. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah, you'll hear it in other songs. You'll hear my type. I write about it all. But no, I mean, this song specifically, I feel like a lot of people can really relate to it and want that love that you see in movies and you dream of. So I'm excited to actually sing this one and see what the crowd has to say about it. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it.
I was really like the lyric, and I'm gonna butcher it so bad because I can't remember it. But it's the one where it's like get old, but what was it?
Doesn't get old when it's older.
Doesn't get, yes, I was like, oh my goodness, like this just hits. Like this is awesome.
I'm jealous of the grandparents that are still like madly in love. Like that's the love.
That doesn't exist today. Like it's so bad.
I know. Trust me, I'm more than aware. I know that. Yeah, no, but it's amazing. That song was really, really fun to write, and I wrote it with such amazing people. So it was really cool to write in that perspective and not really like write about somebody specifically. Yeah. It was just what I want, and that's like, it was definitely something that was different for me because normally I go in with specific situations and I write about it, and this one was like a general feeling that I've had my whole life, and I wrote about it, and I'm really excited for it to be released.
It's just so crazy how you piece these lyrics together and create, the music how you do. What is your process though? Like you were mentioning like that's literally your journal entry, but like, do you write your journal as if you were already writing a song, or are you like jotting down little things here and then just like in the studio kind of like figure out ideas of how to make it coalesce?
Sometimes I literally rip it out of my literally my journal. Like I'll reread a journal entry and that's where my inspiration will come from and I'll go in. Another time it's like the second I'm feeling it, I write it down as a song and I literally just write a song out instead of writing from my journal. But every time it's ripped from a real feeling that I go through, which honestly makes it, for me, easier to write when I'm like in that emotion and really feeling it. So I try not to wait too long to write a song when I'm going through it. Give myself time to heal a little bit so I don't bawl my eyes out.
What is a little bit?
A week. And then I'm back. But sometimes it's like the night of, I'm like, I need to write a song. Like, I need to take advantage of this moment. Literally with me, if I'm crying, I'm like, I might as well get a good song out of it. Like, I need to write about it. Need to get something out of it, you know what I mean?
There's a reason why this happened. No, that sounds so bad.
Oh, my bad.
So you're on tour right now, day one, tour with Andy. What can fans look forward to on this tour, and what are you looking forward to for this tour?
I mean, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is meeting everybody that sees me online, finally getting face-to-face with them. Yeah. But I'm going to be singing a lot of unreleased music, a lot of released music, and new merch as well. Just everything.
You're going to be singing new merch?
I'm going to be singing new merch. That's what I'm going to be.
2023, that's the new thing in tour.
That's it. Just merch, no singing.
You have so much great material already out there. It's a new year. You're about to drop another single for the year. Do you see yourself working on a body of work right now, or do you want to kind of pursue like the singles game?
I'm always working on something behind the scenes when it comes to a project. It may take a little bit of time because I want it to be perfect, but it's always in the back of my head. So there will be an album in the future for sure. For now, you guys are going to get Love Evangelist of maybe a few more singles, but I'm working on something big.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Like I said, I'm a late bloomer to this, but I'm so happy that I got introduced to your music because I'm hooked. I'm hooked. So
I'm happy you found it too.
So Rachel, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys be sure to check her out on tour. And thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.